Here we go, boys. Episode 95. I've changed the background, changed a bit of luck. I've gone to the Aurora because, Tone, you know how the Japanese have got this on the bucket list. And I tell you what, if we do win the Quaddie one of these days, that's where I'm fucking going, to get as far away from you as possible. I live about 500 metres as a crow flies from this prick. Fair dinkum, Daz. It's poisonous.
Are you that close to him?
As the crow flies, it's probably less than 500 metres.
Love thy neighbour.
Love thy neighbour, right? Yeah, it's like fucking.
And I'm not even black.
Yeah, it's like, remember that? Yeah. Don't get him started. Yeah. I don't think Love Thy Neighbour could be on TV in 2022, Tone. But,
no, because nobody has any. They just don't have. What is it? They're not humorous anymore. People are not humorous anymore.
They're not cultured, Tone. They're not cultured anymore.
That's
we were
right.
In the
they're
80s.
Not cultured.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I always used to think when Eddie Booth used to say to his mate, like, "Oh, you big black sambo," and he'd be like, "Oh, you white snowflake." I think being called a snowflake to a sambo still doesn't fit right with me. But anyway, I think Eddie was getting away with a bit back then, a bit like you, Tone, at the moment. Now, let me tell you a story, Taz. Tone is the magic man, seriously. All he does is mention something in passing to his missus, and he ends up getting delivered the next day. He's like, he just said, "Oh, I've lost my Richmond hat because I was drunk." Next minute,
there's
Richmond
that's
hat.
over the top bullshit. I wasn't drunk. Someone fucking stole it. One of these Japs stole it.
Oh, Jesus.
You can't trust them.
But Tony, I don't think that's the point he's trying to make. The point he's trying to make is whether you lost it or had it stolen. You just went, and you got it.
You got it. And then he was mentioning, my phone, battery, up. Next minute, new phone.
Got it again.
Bang.
Yeah,
So I want him to say to his missus, Doomben Quaddie, and then
again.
Well, I wish you'd say the right numbers.
11-11. Parry sound. Anyway, talking about ghosts. Well done, boys.
Let's get on Cascadian, big boy.
Hey?
Cascadian.
Oh, yeah. Don't mention the war here. Absolutely shit house last week, boys. Good to know that we're holding up our standards. Taz had a day out 2 weeks ago, didn't he? Now, 2 weeks ago. Remember when he went 4 from 4 in the chocky wheel, and he's 3 from 3 in the chocky wheel, sorry.
3 from 3.
And then Siege won. How good was that, Tone?
Oh, big swinger. Unbelievable. That's the way to go.
Sorry, fellas, but I still did get 2 in the chocky wheel. One I kept for myself. And seriously, we might not have been doing the bouzouki Greek dance for years, but we were nearly dancing. It did run second. So ease up, fella. I'm starting to get sore shoulders carrying you blokes.
You would. I tell you what, if you were carrying us, you'd fucking be lucky to walk.
Your back's broken.
Yeah. And talking about our familiar, like, how good was the captain last week? Just mention it straight off the top. The captain got us away in the Eagle Farm Quaddie, which should have been at Doomben. He got us away with a beautiful 10-1, and all of a sudden, all he done is put on the old Facebook post, "The captain." I'm like, you fucking champion. Hey? And then Tone just shit himself, then Taz shit himself, and it was all over. But anyway, it doesn't matter. The past is in the past. I just want to shout out one more bloke too. I think his name's Lee. Is that right, Taz?
Which one?
Horner.
What did he do?
He was on the Facebook page and he said, really appreciate the stuff that you guys put out. Love you.
Yes, that was
even though they don't sometimes hit. But thanks, keep up the good work. It's good to know that the familiar's watching. It
is good.
These couple of rascals trying to do a bit of work for them. And so thanks, mate, for giving us a bit of positivity. Now, talking about positivity, Tone, let's get into it. Are you ready?
Let's go. Let's get in there.
Tone, last week I was talking about the release of the jizz, like as in coming, as in spunk coming out of your meat mallet when you're tip one. No beans.
Yeah, jockey era. Absolute shit ride. It was a terrible ride. No, what can I say? This is the problem. These jockeys, they just bleed your pockets.
Right.
What, Tone, a couple of things I'm going to ask you. Every ride that doesn't win is a jockey error. Okay, yes. Let's just put that aside for a minute. But you've got a lovely young girl, okay, at the moment who's away overseas studying.
Very beautiful young girl. Good genes.
Okay, and she's going to follow in her father's footsteps and probably enjoy the punt. And chances are she's probably going to fall in love with a jockey. Oh. What happens, Tone, when she comes home and says, Dad, I'd like you to meet Tom Berry or someone like that? What happens then?
Brendan Advilla.
Oh, I tell you what, there's the door. You better move now. That's it. Absolutely.
You'd say that to your own daughter?
You'd show her the door.
I'd say there's only two kinds of guys that you can't marry. A jockey and a black. That's it. Simple as that. There's the door.
I don't think you should say the other one.
No.
You can't marry a jockey because, like, most of them are like Enron accountants. They're as dodgy as. I wouldn't even let them do the bloody kindergarten books down at the place down the road.
Mate,
dodgy.
All I want to say, Taz, I've got to ask the great man one question. And did you watch the race day?
I certainly did.
So,
shocker.
What were you unhappy about?
Well, just never had it in the right spot. Can't count. This is what happens. You see, they need to go back to elementary school.
Perfect spot.
Shocking, terrible. No, just not good enough. Just terrible. Like, terrible.
He was full back on the fence. Where do you want him?
Shocking, terrible. Nah. That's it.
Nah. You know when you say jockeys can't count, do you want them? Do you reckon if they count in twos, they might go quicker?
Oh, that's a good point.
They need to count in ones for a start test because, they've got to start back right at the basics.
In Chautauqua's case, they used to count in 16s. That's how quick he used to let down and win. Because, I'm with Tone on the counting, though. I think that's the most important thing for a jock. If you can't rate your horse and you can't count, I don't know what you're doing sitting on top of the fucking thing.
Which is fine, but surely not every single jock other than Jamie Carr can't count.
I tell you what, there's a very big percentage of them who can't. Half the jockeys running around, I wouldn't let them ride my horse. No bloody way in the world.
But you'd ride their horse, wouldn't you?
Mate, I'm too big to ride a horse. I'm carrying too much. I'm carrying too much of the flab. But, there's a lot of dodgy ones out there. Tommy Berry will never, ever get my money ever again, that scumbag. He's finished forever and a day. What's name? Josh Parr's not far behind him. Jamie Carr is the only honest jockey out there.
Thanks, mate. Yep. All right. We got it. Pez's push. What happened to Dosh? There was no Dosh at all. It was absolutely shocking.
Shocker.
It was one of them release the beans. It was in the perfect spot, rated perfectly to win, but she had nothing there. It was like, where's the 70s muscle car we talk about, Tone? The vroom, 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 vroom. You just let it go, and it had nothing.
Pezza.
Yes.
It was the first one last.
But that's what I mean. It was
great.
You can't tell me it wasn't in a bad spot or it wasn't ready to win.
Mate,
it was there.
It was there. It was the first thing that you'd want to be on, and it stopped like it had been shot.
Yeah.
Because it actually finished last.
Yeah, I know, mate. Yeah, I'm pretty sure my money was going into a corporate bank account as we were watching the race.
I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
Couldn't believe it.
The Greek Freak 3 weeks in a row. We're going to give you the collect because And We Dance was at an each way price.
Yeah, it was.
It comes second, so you would have got around 360 or 4 skins a place. I'm going to give you 3 weeks in a row, mate.
Thanks, mate. I appreciate that. So does that mean I've got to get up and do it?
Hang on a minute, Tazzolator. Were there any deductions? I have to put that in. Were there any deductions or did we get the true price for the place?
I reckon you would have got probably still would have got $3 thereabouts because there was a hot pot in it that started with S. But there was a hot pot in there that did nothing. It was a Waller horse as well. It was about, I don't know, $2.80 or something. So even with any sort of deductions, mine still started around 10 to 1. But it doesn't matter. It ran second. It's in the past. So we didn't quite down.
Boys, we're going to mention a little bit about Pez's Pickers on Wednesday. What a great start with Ida. You're 1 from 1, you're getting up and about, and you think you're a chance, and then nothing else happens. Last night in Honkers, pretty cool. I've gone 0 from 5 in the last Honkers. Last night I threw out a winner in a second. Pretty happy with the place. Had a fair bit on the place, a little multi. But anyway, good to be back in the winner's circle a little bit. We're covering our arse the last couple of Wednesdays. But the fanfare tone, last night, Team TNT, we had a winner, which was great. Everything else ran busted. But the dart. Can we mention the dart?
You're going to take it away? Take it away, Tony.
No, take it away, Taz. No, you take it away, mate. Yeah.
Are you sure? All right. Well, the dart was Bowman. And, it was led. It led pretty much all the way. And then probably in the last furlong, 150 yards, it got nabbed. But I think it only paid $17.50 the place.
Is that all?
Yeah, it paid pretty short.
So it paid unders for the place. So if you looked at it, it won. The write-up was hit and miss, and it was very much a hit and miss type horse. But geez, I tell you what, it nearly really, really hit.
It was a good run. There's no doubt. It was a bit stiff, just didn't quite have that little bit that was required in the last 150 yards. But geez, it was going. It's good to know because the dart, we've been sometimes taking a little bit of the piss out of it, the dart, because it hasn't hit. And finally, the dart hit for a place at 17.50. So if you do like a roughie, take a look at the boys on a Wednesday night because you don't need many of them to hit for you to make any money.
But you black book them. But seriously, I reckon of all the darts we've thrown, whilst not many have connected, many have gone on and won thereafter.
Yeah, last night. Yeah, that was our first result. So well done, boys.
Yes.
17.50 a place. You don't have to have much on it. No.
And look, I didn't have too much. Only just like the orange coloured notes, but that's all.
The Quaddie, as I said, the captain got us away. Tone let us down. Bez got us back in the game with one of the best horses going around in Australia, Muzu. And then Taz, of course, missed the last leg. So, as I said, I hope that Tone says to his missus that he wants the Doom and Quaddie because, bang, that's the only way we're going to get it, I think. Taz, are you ready?
For the Quaddie or for the Fister?
The Fister.
Oh, we love the Fister. And I tell you, when I went high, wide, I looked everywhere. I had a write-up for one, and then I ended up changing. And I ended up sticking to my New South Wales and good old Rosehill. Lovely track is Rosehill, probably be heavy, but we've gone with Hugh Bowman. Now, the reason I've gone with Hugh Bowman is last night Bowman, Saturday Bowman.
Perfect.
This horse,
and again.
And again, that's right. And again. Now, that said, first up, this horse raced in Group 3 race.
Cool.
Admittedly, it didn't really do too much. It was a heavy track as well. I wouldn't put it down to it not handling the heavy. I'd put it down more that it wasn't up to the class. That said, if you look back historically, last preparation, this came within 6 lengths of Mazu over 1,200. Okay, and as a 2-year-old, okay, it actually ran second to Kalali, the Blue Battlers. So it's only had the 5 starts. Not much more I can say. It's run behind Overpass as well. So it's got the pedigree, it's got the history, and again, I think it's got everything we need. So take a chance again and again, we shall win.
Yeah. I like Fraser as a jockey. He doesn't have many, but they seem to run okay. And I love when Huey our mate Hugh, I like when he rides for the smaller trainers. For some reason, I think he cares a little bit more.
Yeah, look, I mean, the bottom line is Group 3 to a benchmark 72. Seriously. Why can't you have it at 14-1? I mean, the only thing that I'm scared of is if the track doesn't play fair, because this settles out the back. And if it is a really, really leader-biased track, I think, and again, we'll do our dosh.
Right.
So,
I like it. Tone, anyway, we're off to Brisbane, mate. Brizzy, baby. Doom but not doom, let's hope. The Quaddie wear due like a pregnant woman. Another one. Thanks, DJ Caleb. Of course, we had the great man himself, Lukey Mullins. Rides a flamingo like nobody else. And then, of course, we had the great man himself, Ando, who can't forget Ando. And then all of a sudden we got the captain. Now, the captain's made a little video for us again, guys. And I love the captain because remember Voldemort, a.k.a. Mardo, the man, we don't mention his name anymore, but old Mardo used to speak for about 18 minutes.
Not the captain.
I want more. Here he is.
Hang on, what's on the background today? It's still the race, isn't it?
Looks like he's got Albion Park dogs on. All right, I'll turn the volume up here a bit just to annoy my whole family because it's a bit lower on the. Here we go.
Good evening for the line through it. Family, how are we tonight? And no, I haven't been out doing cashies. I've been actually working very hard. My selections for Doomben on Saturday are 2, 3, 4, 8, and 12. Cheers, everyone. Enjoy your evening. Love the captain.
Oh, he even signs
what
off.
A legend.
Well done, he's taken it on, hasn't he?
Get us up there.
Jeez, I
just
tell
have
you
to get
what,
us away.
How good is the cat? Now he's using the moniker, let alone a Spinnaker, the captain. and I got to tend to not trust him when he says I'm not been doing cashies. So I find that sort of hard to believe in that orange viz. But anyway, Woodsy, he's got 2, 3, 4, 8, and 12 in the first. I like it a lot. I'm pretty keen on Soxagon. Won like a really good thing with a leg in the air, Tone. You love when they win like that last start at the Gold Coast. It just absolutely brained them. So obviously Soxagon goes up from New South Wales and grows a leg in the warmer climate.
What do you think of the one, Pezza? Gem
Song? Yeah. I love Nashi, as you know. Don't like Chrissy Lee's train. I hate that Australian Blood Syndicate as well. It's a good horse.
Because it ran in that the big race in Rockhampton. And
yes.
It flew home, so it's interesting to see how it'll back up.
It was short. It was short.
Yeah,
in that race, you're right. That's good, but I reckon he's got the winner.
I think so. I do too.
He's got Tone's favourite horse in Tuxu down the bottom there.
Certainty. Pike will get it up over the line there. Absolutely. Tuxu can beat these bunch of spastics, I think.
You've gone PC on you've really gone PC on us tonight, Tone.
Yeah.
So politically correct with everything that you're saying tonight.
I'm always politically correct. I never go over the line. I always stay behind the red line, like when going through immigration. You know.
The big Doomben Cup, I think it is. Is that right? The Doomben Cup.
Yeah, the Doomben Cup for me, and I've got Zaki because really we should just be going one out. But having said that, if Zaki does get beaten, I've gone down the bottom. What's it called? Coventina Bay. Yeah, I think track conditions, it's not going to be a problem, so they're going to suit. It brings across good New Zealand form. But there's a key. Yeah. Have a look what number it is.
Yep.
Have a look what barrier it is.
Yep.
Oh, big boy.
So if Zaki goes down, it could be a 10 out of 10 for Coventina.
And your favourite chop's on too, which is good.
Oh, yeah, Colette does me, do you reckon? Sammy, oh, yeah. That's why I've got Zaki in there, I guess. But eventually they've got to turn for me.
Yep. Pretty keen on my leg. Sorry, boys, we got a bit excited there. I've got the Barb Raider. I'm not real keen on, actually, even though it's favourite. But, 4, 5, 6 and 11. Really keen on Festival Dancer at a price. Matty Smith gets these horses up at a price. It's around 20 skins from barrier 12. Ben Thompson's on fire. If I was going to have a bet in this race, I reckon I'm on the 5.
It's bringing in some good form. It's working. It's working into form. Didn't this horse last prep string about 3 together, 3 in a row?
That's right. So I don't know. I reckon it smells a bit off for me. So you got to throw Gin Martini in. Robbie Dolan, the singer for Johnny Sargent, always a chance. And I've gone down the bottom there in Smirk. You got to put Jay McEnwaller in just in case. Now, Tone, it's all up to you, big boy. You got to get us away in the last. 2, 6, 7 and 14 you got.
Oh, yeah. How do you say that? Rubicus or whatever?
Rubiquitous, one of my black bookers.
One of your black bookers. I think that should win this. I think it's better than this lot too.
Yep, freshened up.
Yep, freshened up. Yeah, 6 is a danger. 6 is a danger, the Hamlet Snitch or whatever. 7, Zavaboom. J-Mac in the saddle. Could be a go here. Could be a go. Round 460. Favourite. But I think the roughie is like, it could be like the brown log that floats to the top of the settling pond. This is the one. Oriental Princess. Get your money on. Each way, you can get $80. Absolutely. I do like this. Yeah, absolutely.
Tone?
Yeah.
Have you put in Oriental Princess because every time you ask your wife for something, it just happens, and she's your Oriental Princess? So is this the way of keeping her happy? And you said, honey, I'm going to put in a horse that's named after you, Oriental Princess. Is that what you've done?
Oh, there we go. Yeah. No, mate, I've done the form. I've done the form. This is well in there, big boy. Well in there. There's bound to be an upset on the day, and this could be the race. Absolutely.
Pezza, he's got one of your ghosts in. He's left the other one out, though.
Yeah, put on the red light, William Pike on the saddle, which isn't a bad thing. I think Golan loves these horses. He runs them around and they run like shit, and then they get up at a price the next start when you put a line through them. So I think put on the red light's one of those horses that deserves a line through, definitely, because the way it ran last start was one of ours, Tone. Loomed up, looks good, gets shot, finishes last.
Yeah.
So
fantastic. Or 4th. Yeah.
And we're missing the number 17 down the bottom there at 201 skins, but the way Tony's back in Oriental Princess, it should have been in there at 6-4 favourite.
But Get on yesterday.
Anyway, I love the Quaddies on $20 for 10 skins, 10%, $20. I love it. Tone, let's get it going. The titanium tip, the Tones fill up. You're in Doomben race 3, number 6, midnight in Tokyo. Couple of little Oriental Princess about this big
Look, I can't give you much information due to circumstances beyond my control and today's near-death experience. I left the book at Grandma's and took off out of the house before I was bitten by the snake. So, I don't have my notes with me. That's it.
I think it was a rat snake.
Yeah.
Could have been.
I reckon it might have been an Allen's one that you take in those wrappers and you eat them.
I'd kill for a bag of
live, yeah. This one was too live for my liking.
Anyway, Tone, midnight in Tokyo, race 3, number 6, and you can't tell us anything about
it. It's a fairly competitive race. I think this is probably, 3rd in the betting. I'm going to give Nash a bit of a run because all these other so-called, supersonic jockeys have been doing absolutely nothing. So I've I've changed my tune. Oh. Yep. So I'm going to give him a try and see if he can avoid that jockey error status. They get 2 runs and then they're out. Jamie gets 10 and then she's out, but there is a difference. But yes, I think Midnight Tokyo. It was a good run last start from when I looked into it. So not a problem.
I think I have this funny feeling that you are under the influence of your wife. Honey, would you like to go out to Tokyo? We could have a midnight to Tokyo trip. You can be my Oriental princess. I mean, who knows?
Oh, there we go.
What else have you got there? I mean, you could say something else. Like
let's buy a sausage dog while we're up there and call it Dallasan. You know, we might as well.
That's running in Adelaide, you know that.
Oh, I'm saving me money for Big Boy Roy and Flow Meter. That's the double of the century.
All right, boys, we're at Flemington Race 4, number 4, defining. Matty Cartwright, Tony McAvoy in the saddle. Pretty keen on it. I think it's got really good form around Elation, which if this was in this race, would be at about $1.10. So I reckon it's been, running like a really good horse and winning quite easily until it ran into Elation. And it got into a bit of trouble, actually. It was a little bit lame, lost a shoe. It was pretty stiff, actually, and it finished. It still finished a little bit behind Elation. It was like 3.8 lengths second, but mate, I tell you what, if Elation was in this race, Jesus Christ, it would be again in the queue. But
are you concerned about the barrier?
No, not at all. At Flemington, around the corner, I think this horse takes its medicine. It's never an on-pacer, so it'll get a sit. Hopefully, Matty Cartwright sits it in. He's flying at the minute, Matty Cartwright, too. He's absolutely flying. So please ride something well for me, you little punk-ass bitch. But, it's funny. Matty Cartwright will win. He'll ride 3 on a Saturday, and I won't be on any of them. Then I'll back one, and he'll ride it like a fucking apprentice. Anyway, defining. We got 14 in the 440 and the 370. Gets us back a bit over $200. Not too bad for us, but let's just hope and pray that we line up for a chance that Barney can get a new pair of shoes.
He's probably due for him, isn't he?
Yeah.
Boys,
absolutely awesome, mate. Thanks for coming. Actually, if anyone's wondering, I'm wearing my Wayne Schwass badge for Pucker Up. Couple of mates are doing a bit tough back in Geelong, so I hope they're all right. Pucker Up, of course. If you've got any spare coins, throw them their way because it's all about men's mental health, which I think is pretty important at the moment, especially for us over here, Tone, in Japan.
That it is.
All right, Tassie, you got anything, mate?
Just that Blues, Sydney Swans, big game Friday night. Carlton also have room in their salary cap to chase Mackay from the Kangaroos because we need a key back. So I reckon he's our target that we go after.
It'd be great to see the Mackay boys play in the blue and white, especially stripes.
I don't know. I reckon we could pull him out of there.
Like we're going pretty all
the Blues are on fire. Ducks are struggling. They're not much. They've gone off a bit, the old red and white. The old blood's gone off the boil a bit. I reckon Carlton might give them Carlton have got a big donk under the hood in the 70s muscle car. The Ducks, well, they're starting to quack a bit.
Good to see North. Good to see Norfolk got an easy one this week in Melbourne. Should be all right. Jackie Bowie should get win number 17, which I think is the record for a bloke who hasn't lost a game yet. But, Tone, I heard Dusty's off to Sydney.
Really? Yeah, that was the rumour a while ago that they've thrown enough coin at him and might be heading up to the old steak and kidney.
You know how if Dusty goes to Sydney, it's almost going to be as big a move as you, Tone, this weekend, okay, being at Adelaide. Because I have had a look at the card and seriously, I reckon we could call, races there could be called the Tony Stakes.
Yeah.
The Tone Ghost House.
How about that?
I mean, all sorts of things. You've got about 40 horses from your stable running in Adelaide.
How about the RA League? How good's that?
I've got
the RA League, you've got Dallas Antone, you've got Cherry Tortoni, Sosi Bon,
Juniper.
Into Juniper.
Oh.
You got the first 4 right there, big boy.
Sosi Bon shouldn't be allowed in the race. Dallas and couldn't beat me, and Cherry Tortoni is one of the most overrated horses, one of the most overrated quadrupeds running around in fucking circles. Nah.
I'm actually backing for Delisand because this horse is an absolute non-winner, but geez, it runs a big race.
I am going to back box his Ghost.
Yeah.
And I'm going to put the ticket up. and when it wins, Tone, I want you to look at it and just think, you rotten mongrel. Yeah. Because I reckon your Ghost could potentially trifecta that race and pay a fortune.
Well, I'm going to lay it all. So,
if you've got Adelaide and Flemington this week, I reckon Tone is like an abattoir. It's an absolute graveyard for the grey man. The big easy in the last will get us out, Tone.
It's a bit like the old, what is it? The old joke about Custer and Hussein.
Oh.
You know the old joke? They both said, where are all those fucking tomahawks coming from? Same thing. Yeah, anyway. Thought I'd leave you with that.
All right, mate. All right, boys, I'm going to get out of here because I think my missus is about to
explode.
Which me, put a knife through the guts and let the intestines fall on the floor, I think. So, all right. Take it easy. Have a great weekend.
Thank you. Can Tone give us a click like his missus?
Oh, mate. Doom and Quaddie, Tom. Doom and Quaddie.
Yeah, I'm going to ask. I'll put it up in the bed for everybody to load up.
I want you to say, honey, can we get the Quaddie?
Yeah.
Just ask her now.
Yeah.
Go on.
Please.
Just say it. Just say it. You're locked in the closet anyway. Just say
it. Or at least a midnight away in Tokyo, mate.
Oh, midnight in Tokyo is certainly. Get on, load up, balls deep at 11. Home, James, and don't spare the horses.
That's right. And again, it will be a defining moment. Midnight in Tokyo will be defining. Because then again, we're going to win the Doom and Quaddie. Let's go, boys. All right, see you, boys. Cheers. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Good
Appreciate it. Bye-bye.
Cheers, fellas.
See you, familiar.
See ya.